If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and enjoy the show. What's up, fight fans? Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Today, we're going to be going behind some of the statistics that truly matter in the fight game, focusing on Gervonta Tank Davis. Some of the stats that we already know about Tank are the obvious ones. We know he's undefeated. We know he has a 93% career knockout to win ratio. And today we're going to go over his opponent's strength of schedule. Basically, the path that Tank has had to go through to get to his position. Also, I should mention, he's fighting again. With news today breaking that somewhere in late spring, early summer, this is from Mike Coppinger, ESPN.com, Tank Davis is signed to fight. You ready for this? Frank Martin. Tank versus Frank, the Ghost. That'll be a whole separate video. Let's stick on topic. But because of that, that's why we're doing this. We're not going to go over all of Tank's opponents, all of his 29 wins. We're just going to go over his last 10 opponents, finishing with Ryan Garcia, his last opponent, and starting with the Jesus Queller fight back in 2018. Guys, we know boxing is one of these sports where as you become a professional, you start getting into the waters of testing yourself. So when you see records that are a bit padded, a lot of times early on in their careers, the competition is going to be down because the coach, the fighter, the trainer, they might not know what they have in a fighter in their first 10 fights. But as they become more comfortable and their coaching staff starts to understand what style of fighter they have, the competition will start getting stiffer. And when you're a world champion like Tank Davis, every fight is your biggest fight. And these are the numbers we are going to dissect today. If we were going to add up those last 10 fights that I talked about, and we're going to do a strength of schedule percentage, those numbers alone of his last 10 fights equate to 256 wins and 12 losses, meaning that every opponent that Tank fought, the record on the night of they fought Tank equated together 256 and 12. So from the 10th to the last fight, the Garcia fight, Ryan was 23-0. These are the records: 23-0, 16-0, 14-0, 22-1, 26-0, 37-1, 30-2, 21-2, 39-4, and 28-2. That is a 96% win-loss ratio for Tank Davis. They're not just giving this dude any old opponent. If you look at all of his fights, there weren't that many that were actually too far away on the sports bet apps. I remember going into the Leo Santa Cruz fight. That's personally my favorite fight from Tank because Leo came into that fight 37-1 record. He was a favorite in some of the judges, and Tank knocked him out in the 6th round. You really got to see Tank's pressure drown Leo. And that's the thing about Tank. He could be technical if he wants. He has good feet if he wants, but he could also drown you in deep waters. And it's that pressure that a lot of fighters, every one of them so far, all 29, have succumbed to and drowned. We saw it with the Raleigh fight. We saw it with Hector Garcia. Ryan Garcia couldn't handle the pressure. So all in all, we know how Tank fights. We know what he wants to do. And we know that his opponents, that whoever they put out in front of him, these guys can't control who they fight. Yes, they have a saying. Yes, they could kind of pick and choose. But at this level, he's going to have to take fights like he already has with some pretty stiff competition. And to say that his whole opponent's strength of schedule is at 96%, that's pretty wild. Tank isn't fighting tomato cans. He's getting the best version of his opponents every time they fight. And I'm really looking forward to this Frank Martin fight. We know that Frank is going to be coming in there with a point to prove. And I have no idea which way it's going to go. I'm not going to give you my picks on this channel, but I'm going to ask you guys, how do you see that one going? We'll do a separate video when the time comes, probably later next week. Who do you like in that one, Tank Davis or Frank Martin? Also, what do you think of Tank Davis's strength of schedule? I did one on Tim Tszyu earlier, and Tim's strength of schedule was 92%. His last 10, Tank's 96%. It just goes to show you, the more and more you become as a champion in boxing, the stiffer the competition becomes. And this is why when guys make it to that level, nothing but admiration on our ends as fans, because these guys lay it on the line every single fight against the best competition in the world. Let me know in the comment section below.